Good morning, everyone. I'm Bill Brenner, Head of Content at Cyber Risk Alliance, which includes SC Media and our Security Weekly family of podcasts. And I am joined by Tarvinder S. Welcome. And Tarvinder is Vice President of Identity Solutions at IDI. And we are going to talk about KYB, increasing KYB coverage through linking consumer and business data. And so, welcome, first off.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
So, I'm wondering if we could start by, just for the benefit of the audience, talk through what KYB is.
Yeah. So KYB just means know your business,
Yep.
right? And it's the analogy is KYC with know your customer. And it's just the ability to know that the applicant that you're trying to enroll remotely is the business that they're claiming to be. So you're verifying that business. So whether you want to put that business in your marketplace, if you're a marketplace platform, or whether you're a loan underwriter that's looking to approve a loan for this business, you need to verify that business exists. And also, if you extend it, know the beneficial owners exist as well, and there's no fraud that's behind those business or the beneficial owners.
So, talk about why there's been this increased need
Yeah.
for Know Your Business.
Yeah, so there's several trends in the industry that's been happening and just in the world that have been happening over the last several years, 10 years. And that one is obviously the increased digitization, right? A lot more transactions are happening online, remotely. There's marketplace platforms that small businesses, sole proprietors can really place their goods and services on those platforms. There's also increased financial services that are going to those types of players, and even contractors have loans that they can apply for, finish their contract, and pay them back. And so there's a lot more activity and financial services and economic activity happening remotely. So that's one. Two is there is globalization as well. So there's and we also work with several companies that are saying, hey, we're a European-based company, but we've got American businesses that are coming into our platform, so we need to know who they are. And so they need that expertise to do that verification. And third is because those increased demand for remote KYB activities, there's a lot of fraud that's entered into this into this business space. And it also got, I would say, exacerbated with the PPP protection program that got rolled out very fast. And rightfully so, they needed to get money to these businesses that were struggling, but that also created a fraud vector. And so there's an increased amount of fraud that's happening where people are pretending to have a business and they go in, have goods or contract, or hey, I want to open a dentist office, get the loan, and it never gets paid back because that business wasn't legitimate, right? So those trends, it's really the increased demand for remote transactions really creates a demand for it, and that increase in demand also created a fraud vector. And so there's a big need in the industry today to have very effective KYB solutions.
And talk about the level of difficulty of implementing KYB solutions.
Yeah, and it's really, I would say, a capability that's just in its infancy in terms of creating the coverage that you need to do effective KYB. And part of the reason is in the US, you've got 50 secretaries of states, and each one has different policies connecting them. It's probably not normalized. Some of them don't update, so there may be businesses that are not active that are still showing active in the business, and they may not update regularly, and sometimes if it's a sole proprietor, they may not incorporate it into those systems. And so as you bring in that data, there's a lot of, I would say, noise, missing, unclean data as you kind of try to consolidate that and provide a effective KYB solution. So that's one thing. So the other thing is just linking beneficial owners, officers, to those businesses and saying, okay, are these, this business may be real, but is this person, is it a synthetic ID? Has there been criminal history in the past? And so you really have this disparate systems out there. There's a business verification and a KYC type of verification, and the ability to link those two is really critical as well. So those validation technologies, I think, are still, the market is maturing on that.
So talk to me now about what, in your view, and this of course is the focus on what IDI is here for,
Right.
What the pieces are to a good know your business solution.
Right. And a good know your business solution is not unlike a good KYC solution, right? It needs to be multi-source data that comes in, so you're not relying on one source. You need a good entity resolution engine that can bring in these disparate sources and take the noise out, create the linkages. But what really will set it apart is somebody who can then link it to consumer data that then can do that same sort of KYC on the beneficial owners and the beneficial or officers or executives of this business. And then you can look at fraud history, criminal history, synthetic ID fraud on not just the business but the beneficial owners. So the first thing is really a strong entity resolution engine that brings in multi-sources, links it with consumers, and really provides you the best coverage and also provides you the fraud, not only on the business side but on the beneficial owner side. So that's number one. So number two is that you need it in an infrastructure that's cloud-based, very reliable, very fast, with very easy, flexible APIs that you can integrate it into your workflows. And what we believe at IDI is really having single APIs that can do multiple workflows, so you can have one integration and address majority of your identity needs or KYB needs for that business. And finally, you want to be able to really evaluate the performance and how well the coverage is very easy. And so you need to have somebody working with you that makes that process easy, makes that evaluation easy, makes it without a lot of hurdles, and then really a partner with you to build the most optimal solution for your needs and your workflows and your consumer experience as well.
Very good. So since we are talking from Identiverse, what are some of your impressions? I'm not sure if you were able to see any of the keynotes yesterday or if you've had a chance yet to walk the floor, but any big trend impressions when it comes to the direction that identity security is taking?
Yeah, so I think identity and security, there are a lot of trends that we're seeing, right? So one of the what we've seen, and I think IDI has been ahead of the curve, where there is that need for that KYB solution that is integrated with consumer and business, right? But on the consumer side, we see a lot of convergence in terms of needing security, but also consumer experience, right? So you need to, and we see that on the KYB front too, is you want to make it easy for your customers, right? Because abandonment rates are real, right? If you make it hard. right? So you may improve your fraud vector, but you really impact your business negatively if you don't have an efficient technology in place. So that consumer experience has to tie well with the security application or workflow that you're putting in. So that's one. And then the other vector that's coming in is the privacy vector. So you need to make sure that you are protecting privacy and you know the data you use, the KYC processes to use, the identity that you are managing. It all is very privacy centric, and you've got the ability and the rights for that data that you use. So privacy is a big trend that we see just continuing to highlight and grow as well. And we see a lot of technology companies out here as well doing that.
Very good. And you have a booth here?
Yes, we do.
And so to those of you who are here at Identiverse, please do check out the IDI booth. And also to keep along with all of our coverage coming from Identiverse, you can visit securityweekly.com/IDI IDV. And you can see all of our articles, videos, and follow along. Tarvinder, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
And I look forward to seeing what IDI does from here.
All right, excellent. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate you having me.
And we'll be back.